Some of you guys may not care. I kind of do. I find it funny. I find it funny that after the first episode, when I told you guys that I would not be making many 30-minute long videos, for example, I find it funny that after I said that, this next episode, this episode is possibly going to be 30 minutes long. I'm not intending this show to be, 30 minutes long or anything like that. I'm just saying, first of all, as a warning, I'm going to make it as short as possible. But I got a lot to say, so it may end up being 30 minutes long. And I just find that funny after I told you guys I would not be making many. This is a special, so this counts as a special. So I told you guys I may make, some specials here and there. So this counts. I'm not going to hold you guys very long. But yeah, let's get the show started. All right, guys, welcome to the second episode of The Press with Emory TIlghman. This episode is going to be the first special of The Press with Emory TIlghman. I'm not intending this, like I said, I'm not intending this to be a 30-minute long episode, but this might be. There's a lot to unpack in this episode because this is a week in review. What is a week in review? Well, for me, I'm basically just going to talk about 3 takeaways that I got from this week. And guys, this is not going to be every week. This has been a very busy week in a lot of things, sports, music, all of that. And I feel like, I don't feel like I want to talk about these things. So what I'm going to do is give you guys 3 takeaways that I got from this week. It's not going to be every week because there are some weeks that are very quiet. But then there are some weeks that are very, very active. During some of those active times, those active weeks, I will be making a week in review. So watch out, guys. Anyways, first topic we're going to talk about is, so today is June 7th. Yesterday, June 6th, there was the NBA Finals that started last night. The Celtics versus the Mavericks. This marked the first, not the first return, but the return of Kristaps Porzingis after a good, 30-something days? I don't think he played a game since, April 29th or something like that? That's when he got hurt. And they put him on the bench, or he was going to come off the bench. And this man, oh yeah, also, by the way, this is his first ever finals game in his career. So think about that for a second. With all that stuff that was pretty much building up on him, or just weighing him down, not really weighing him down, but all the stuff that we were talking about him prior to the game, we would think, oh, he's coming off the bench. He just got off a it's not a bad injury, but it's an injury. He just came off an injury. And this is his first finals game ever in his career. I don't know about you, but I would have thought he would suck this first game. That's me personally. Some of you guys may be like, oh, no, he's going to dominate. What are you talking about? And some of you guys may be agree with me and be like, yeah, he's probably not going to play well. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. He proceeded to drop 20 points. Got the stat sheet over here. He proceeded to drop 20 points. Shockingly, he was not the leading scorer. Jalen Brown was with 22 points. Porzingis dropped 20 points, was 8 for 13 from the field, and 2 for 4 from the three-point line. That's pretty good for his first game. This is his first finals appearance, and he proceeds to drop 20 points, 8 for 13 from the field, and 2 for 4 from three-point range. And got 6 rebounds also. And I think he got a few extra blocks, I think, right? Hold on, give me a second. Let me find it. Yeah, he got 3 blocks. I thought he had more. Shockingly, he only had 3. Interesting. Anyways, that was his performance. There were multiple other players on Boston that had double-digit points. Al Horford had 10. Jason Tatum had 16. Jalen Brown, like I mentioned, had 22. Derek White had 15. Drew Holiday, 12. And that's about it. And it was a absolute slaughter in the first half, at least. In the second half, the Mavericks did all they could. They were trying the best that they can to at least have some type of respectable performance in their first finals game. But it wasn't enough. Final score was 107-89. It's still a blowout. Luka did his thing. He got 30 points. He got 10 rebounds. He got is that it? Yeah, he got 1 assist. Why did he get 1 assist, Emory? Well, it's because everyone else wasn't making anything. There were only what? Yeah, 4 people had double-digit points. Luka was the only person that had at least 20. PJ Washington was the second leading scorer on that team with 14 points. Yeah. They weren't going to win this game. PJ had 8 rebounds, which is cool, fine and dandy. But like I mentioned, that wasn't enough. Kyrie, we thought he was going to do something. He only had 12. Bro just came off of a dominant 2 series. Like the last 2 series he dominated. I think he's now what? 14. He has a 14-1 record in closeout games and all that. He was dominating. There were highlights. There were more highlights. Well, the most highlights I've seen from the NBA playoffs was Kyrie Irving. So you would think, oh, he's coming back to Boston. Everyone hates him in Boston. We would think, oh, he's actually going to, dominate his first game back in Boston. Well, not really first game back, but, he's coming back to Boston. So we thought, oh, he's going to have a, take that game. You know what I'm saying? Boston got the last laugh. The fans did, at least. My man had 12 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. That's he was 0 for 5 from 3. Yeah, that's that ain't gonna cut it, buddy. Luka had it's like 4 for 12 from 3. Ugh. So yeah, they didn't really have a good game. Boston did though. And my reaction to that game is I think Boston pretty much has this in the bag. I'm not saying they're going to sweep them. I'm not at all saying that. But if the Celtics behave the way that they're behaving right now, I think they got this in the bag. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. I'm not saying that you're gonna win every game, because I don't think the Celtics can beat the Mavericks at Dallas for 2 games straight. I just don't think that's gonna happen. I think Kyrie is gonna finally wake up and be like, "Wait a minute. We're in the finals. I'm used to this. I beat the Warriors in the finals before. I've been here before. I have a ring. What's going on?" He'll finally wake up at some point. The thing is, I think it'll be too late. So, that's my opinion. Um, for the Celtics, again, this they did they did pretty well. Very, very well. Um, Me personally, I would have loved to see Jason Tatum do a little more, but that's it. Jaylen Brown did what he needed to do. We all know what happened to Kristaps Porzingis. Drew Holiday played defense, he did all he needed to do. He made buckets also. He had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, was 2 for 5 from three-point range, and 4 for 9 from the field. It's a pretty good game. And there were people that were that was just people that were starting. Kristaps Porzingis did not start. There are people like, Sam Hauser, 2 for 2 from 3. I know he only took 2 shots, but still. 2 for 2 from 3. That's 100%. He had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 for 4 from the field, and played only 16 minutes. That's a pretty good game. A lot of other people played like 3 minutes. Luke Cornett had got a point and a rebound in 3 minutes. Like I mentioned, they're being very productive with the limited minutes that they have. That's pretty good. The Mavericks. Well, let me look at this. Hold on. Yeah, the Mavericks played more players than the Celtics did. The thing is, the Celtics bench was more productive than the Mavericks bench. There were 3 people that had a humongous goose egg on every stat sheet and played 5 to 8 minutes. The people that I'm talking about, like Tim Hardaway Jr., played 8 minutes, had a goose egg on every single stat sheet. Dante Exum, 5 minutes, had a goose egg. No, he had 2 rebounds and 1 assist. But that's it. Did not shoot at all, did not do anything at all other than rebound and pass. Dwight Powell, 5 minutes, got 1 foul. That's it. That's not a good performance for the bench. That's my opinion on that game. And me personally, I think the Celtics got this one in the bag. Like I mentioned, I don't think they're going to sweep the Mavericks. I just think that the Mavericks, I don't. You're gonna have to prove a lot of people wrong in this next game. You're gonna have to win one of these away games. Like this next game, you have to win in order for everyone else to believe, oh, you guys have a chance. That's just me. Gonna go ahead and take a quote unquote commercial break. This isn't really a commercial break, but I'm gonna count this as a commercial break. I'm gonna take a break and on to the next topic. See you in about a few seconds. We are back, and topic number 2. This is interesting. We're going to the topic of music. It's Friday. People are dropping music. Since this is my show, I can advertise. I am dropping a new single, Higher. And it's dropping on June 14th. I got the pre-save link in the description. If you guys want to pre-save, go ahead and do so. If you guys really like me, you guys would pre-save. If you guys hate me, you guys wouldn't. Just pressure here and there. Just some sprinkle of pressure, no hate. Just, no pressure. You know what I'm saying? But one of the biggest topics, not just this week, but, this whole year, has been the beef. I don't even need to name who I'm talking about, just the beef. Okay, the beef. This week, I believe it was this week, J. Cole and Drake dropped songs after this whole beef happened. And it's still ongoing technically, but no one has dropped a single thing about each other since Not Like Us, I think. Oh, wait, no, the Hard Part 6. Never mind. J. Cole dropped a song first, or it was a feature. It was a feature. Both Drake and J. Cole did features. That's what it was. J. Cole did a feature with some dude. I'm not sure what his name was, but it was bad. It was bad. Very, very bad. Very, 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 very bad. To the point where I don't really want to get into too much detail. You guys should just, look it up if you guys want to. I don't really care, but go ahead and do that. It wouldn't. How do I put this? It wasn't his best work. That's what I'll say. It wasn't his best work. It wasn't awful because I'm going to say it wasn't awful because what I'm about to tell you guys next was awful. J. Cole dropped a feature with someone else, and that was, not his best work. Drake, on the other hand, he also did a feature. He did 2 features actually. One was with artist named Sexy Red. I don't understand these people's names nowadays. I don't understand what's up with these people's names. And Drake did his thing or whatever. He apparently remixed or did a verse on the diss track that this instrumental that Metro Boomin had for Drake and all that, which I find funny. By the way, if he ever did, if Metro did hear it and there was a rule or something, a rule book that you had to follow in order for the winner, because there was like a prize if whoever had the best verse on that beat would get like what $10,000 or something like that and a free beat for Metro Boomin. If there was a rule that he had to go by, and that rule at the end of the day meant that Drake won, if it ultimately meant that Drake won, that would be the funniest thing ever. But I'm going off track. Drake did that. It was, it's a feature, whatever. The next thing that he did, this same week, dropped a song. And I don't even know what, it's some type of like folk song. I don't even know what it, like, I don't know the genre of it. It's not pop. It's not R&B. It's not trap. It's not rap. It's not hip hop. It's not all, it's, I don't know. I think it's folk. It's not alternative. It's not rock. It's something. Someone's playing the ukulele, the acoustic guitar, something like that. I don't even know what it is. And it sounds like a camping song. Does that make sense? A camping song. And guys, it is the most funniest song I have ever heard in my life. I'm so cheap. Bro sounded like Mr. Lunt from VeggieTales. I want you guys, if you guys can, look that song up and then look up Mr. Lunt. Find any type of Mr. Lunt song from VeggieTales. Cheeseburger will probably be my number one recommendation. And listen to that and see the comparison between the two songs. That's what it reminded me of. And every time I heard it, I would laugh so hard. I would laugh so hard. It's the most weirdest song I've ever heard. It's not bad necessarily. It's just very unexpected of this man. Very unexpected. What's my opinion on that? My opinion is Drake, specifically. J. Cole, you can do whatever you want. I mean, I guess, because you didn't, get yourself into this mess. You just decided to do a verse that was bad, but I'm going to just assume that you're going to not do that ever again. That's what I think. I'm going to assume that you listen to your fans. You're not going to do that ever again. That's what I'm going to assume. Drake, on the other hand, he's different. Drake, Mr. Graham, Sir Aubrey. Run away as fast as you can. Hide for a week or two. Don't be seen for a week or two. Figure out words to write. Like, just write songs, in a man cave. Locked up in there. Not locked up in there, but lock the doors. Don't come out until you've made 10 songs. Good songs. Don't at any point, go at Kendrick Lamar ever again. Especially not in these 10 songs I'm telling you to do. And once you're done, you can go back to your normal ways. But right now, also, don't. What Drake is doing is he's just basically giving everyone his L's, if you will. He's like, yep, you're right. Like all of a sudden, yep, you're right. I suck at this. Yep, you're right. I don't do this. Yep, you're right. I do this. Yep, you're right. I trash at this. If I were you, if I was Drake, I would just hide. Get in a man cave or something like that and just start writing. Just write. Then drop an album. He releases 20 song albums every week. Pretty much. I'm over exaggerating, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like every week he drops an album. In my opinion, it feels like every week he drops an album. Just write. If you're not a, and also if you don't have any ghostwriters, and you write a song, if you write 10 of them, you drop them. That eliminates the ghostwriting, and they're good. That eliminates the ghostwriting accusations. And yeah, me personally, I would also not come to the U.S. again, or at least until next year, because nobody likes you in America. I do. I don't hate nobody. I'm just saying, like, no one else likes you in America. They don't want you in America. That's just my opinion on that. We can move on to the third topic. Gonna take another break. And this last topic is gonna be very, very interesting in my mind. Let's get it. All right, people. was to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. Why am I talking about them, you ask? Just because. No, it's not just because. One of the most interesting topics of this week has been the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm going to remind everyone, if you guys have known me since I started YouTube, started making music and all that and posting stuff on YouTube, if you guys know me like that, you would probably know that I'm a Warriors fan. A diehard Warriors fan. On my right, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, on my right, on you guys' left, there's a Warriors logo right behind me. And a Stephen Curry logo right behind me. I'm a diehard Warriors fan. Now, there's a history with the Warriors and the Lakers. Apparently, in the Bay Area, if you're from San Francisco and you're a Warriors fan and you say you like the Lakers, you're probably going to get crucified. Apparently, that's what people have told me. I am not from the Bay Area, so I have the right to say I have no problem with the Lakers. Why is that? Because I also like LeBron James. And I like Anthony Davis. And I like D'Angelo Russell. That's just my opinion. With the Lakers, though, this topic is basically they're just trying to find a coach. They're desperate for a coach. And they have gone leaps and bounds trying to find a head coach. They went and tried to find like Kenny Atkinson. This is a coach for the Warriors, which I find very, very interesting in that regard because he's a Warriors assistant. They tried to get Tyronn Lue to leave the Clippers and go to the Lakers, which we all know was never going to work. And sure enough, it did not work. Some of them, I saw an article that said J.B. Bickerstaff, the former coach for the Cavaliers, who I could talk about this for another topic. I probably won't actually, but Cavaliers shouldn't have fired J.B. Bickerstaff. That's just my opinion. I think a lot of other people would agree with me on that, but there's literally no reason why J.B. Bickerstaff should have been fired. Anyways, the Lakers were trying to get him. But then also they were like, oh, let's go ahead and get J.J. Redick. Now, J.J. Redick was the number one option pretty much for the Lakers. They were all like, okay, we're zeroing in, quote unquote, on J.J. Redick. Bleacher Report reported that we're aiming for J.J. Redick. ESPN, we're aiming for J.J. Redick. They're aiming for J.J. Redick. They all know they're pretty much done with finding everyone else, so they're pretty much just focused on J.J. Redick at this point. It's pretty much a done deal. Everyone thought, and I keyword thought, that was going to be J.J. Redick as a head coach. Like I said, keyword, we thought. Yesterday, before the finals started, there was a report by Adrian Wojnarowski that we were wrong. And that this whole time they were looking for, Jerome, please, Dan Hurley, the head coach for the UConn Huskies men's basketball team. Dan Hurley. The coach that literally just came off of a NCAA championship. And, quote, they've been looking for them. I don't even know what the statement was, but it was, he was their main target this whole time, quote unquote. Adrian, are you sure about that though? Because if I remember correctly, this whole week, this whole 2 weeks, these whole 3 weeks, we thought it was going to be J.J. Redick. But apparently that wasn't the case. What's going on, Adrian? Is it you? I don't know. Who is lying to us? Like, that's my question. All I'm asking is, who is lying to us? Someone's lying. Someone's lying. Someone lied to us. If this whole time they were aiming for Dan Hurley, we would have been talking about it by now. Literally, there was zero mention of Dan Hurley in this coaching search for the Lakers. There was no mention about Dan Hurley. And now, apparently, according to reports, they are literally interested in like transitioning to him becoming the coach for the Lakers, which I find very fun. Like no one there was no mention about that until just now. There was no mention about that until just now. We all thought, I mean, if you're a UConn fan, you probably thought, oh, Dan Hurley is going to be a coach for the Huskies for a long time. Apparently, that's not the case. So all I'm asking is, who lied to us? That's all I'm asking. Who lied to us? I'll also say for Dan Hurley, I mean, you probably want to reconsider if you're Dan Hurley because if you realize the history. I mean, look, Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel won a championship, Emory. What are you talking about? Frank Vogel got fired 2 years after that. No, a year and a half after that. What are you talking about? What am I talking about? And then after that firing, Darvin Ham was coaching the Bucks for a time, or as like an assistant coach, and people were like, "Oh, you guys should get Darvin Ham." So then they hired Darvin Ham, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to be the savior of the Lakers," or not the savior of the Lakers. Or they're like, "This changes the trajectory of the Lakers. We may think they may be championship contenders." We all know how that went. All of a sudden, everyone's calling for Darvin Ham's head. Right. So if you're Dan Hurley, I probably would reconsider. Also, if you're Dan Hurley, you probably want to think about like your value for the two situations that you're in right now. You could either go to the Lakers and have maybe a little bit more money, but have a significantly low value to the team. Because coaches don't really matter much in the NBA. You could have a team with zero coach and they would still thrive very, very, very well. If that was college, that'd be very, very different. Because like right now, Kentucky, they just lost John Calipari. I promise you they're going to suck this next year. That's a huge, huge loss, especially for a coach that has been an iconic coach, number one, but also a coach that has been there for probably like more than 10 years. If you've been a coach for more than 10 years and you leave immediately, that's good. That's a huge loss. Now, UConn, this is different because they're just now becoming a good team, and I don't think Dan Hurley's been there for longer than, 5 years? I could be very, very wrong, but I don't think he's been there that long. But if I was Dan Hurley, I would just stay. That's my opinion. Especially with like the Brooklyn Nets, when they got KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, who do they hire as their coach? Steve Nash. Steve Nash has zero experience as a head coach. But suddenly they think, oh, he could make a huge difference for this team as a coach. Like he has zero experience as a head coach in any age group. High school, middle school, nothing. College, no. He was a basketball advisor, I think, for the Warriors, and that's what got him the job because he coached Kevin Durant, quote unquote, coached Kevin Durant. Grant, and also, Steve Nash is Steve Nash. He's a legend and all that. He's, we all know who Steve Nash is as a basketball player. That's it. He has zero experience. And like Darvin Ham got hired, and because of the one or two games that he coached in the playoffs, like, oh, he's that. And granted, the Bucks, were dominating, but I mean, the that shouldn't, give people the impression that, oh, he's going to give us a championship if he comes to the Lakers or something like that. If you're a Lakers fan, that's not true. It's not true. Now, if it was college, that is definitely true. So right now, if you're a UConn fan, you're probably shivering right now. You're probably very, 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 very nervous because you just came off of a championship. You're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And now all of a sudden he's leaving. The coach is leaving. And not only that, there are players on your team that are also leaving. So y'all probably aren't going to play well if Dan Hurley leaves. So y'all probably aren't going to, y'all probably going to stay where you guys were. I'm not trying to stay where you guys were. You guys are probably going to plummet and stay there for the time being if Dan Hurley leaves. So if I'm a UConn fan, I'm probably shaking right now and praying to God that he does not leave. Also, this does not, just because Dan Hurley's a coach does not mean LeBron's going to stay. Doesn't mean LeBron's going to stay. If Bronny goes to the Lakers, and yeah, maybe that would definitely mean LeBron's going to stay, but that does not mean that, oh, Dan Hurley's the coach now. That means nothing. That means nothing. Quite honestly, I mean, what? I mean, okay, let's think about this for a second. If you're the Lakers, you just came from, okay, we're going to get Dan Hurley, JD Redick, over JD Redick. That shows you how much care the NBA has for the head coaching, jobs. One has zero experience, another has a championship in college, but both are equally in the talks for the head coaching job. That tells you a lot for the head coaching jobs in the NBA. But that's all I got to say for this topic, and that's all I got to say for this whole show. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any other advice that you guys want to give me, you can email me at thepresswith@gmail.com. And yeah, follow me on all socials, or almost all socials. And yeah, thank you guys for watching once again. And see you in the next episode. See you guys.